Hello?
Hello?
Hey, hi everyone. I'm Tak. I'm generally a technology generalist. I guess this works. And I work at AG Grid, trying to make the best grid and charts library for JavaScript, but I also do my own thing with Forest in the Tree. I'm trying to start a YouTube channel. In Forest in the Tree, I'm kind of just playing around with tech and just kind of exploration. Like I played around with like 3D with Blender, and like I made a chair, played around with game engines and like MetaHuman with like kind of facial tracking, which was quite fun. Also made this like demo kind of toy with like hand tracking and TensorFlow. But like it was fun and futuristic, but it just kind of like felt something was like lacking. And like I've been trying to like kind of find this thing, and like I really like Brett Victor's kind of article about the future of interaction design, which was like 13 years old. But I think it still kind of resonates with me, where he kind of rants about this futuristic Microsoft video about like what it will look like and everything. And everything was basically a screen that you like swipe and like kind of just poke at. And like in contrast, like our hands, they can just do so much more. Like it just feels like we're just stripping away so many degrees of freedom, so many things that we do day to day without even thinking. And so I was like, that's kind of where I was trying to get to, like getting away from the screen, which like I really like this video, of like kind of get like running away. And so this is kind of my attempt at it. It's like this little, it's making a real thing. It's just this analog light where you can kind of press on it and then it lights up. You can like, I like it, it's simple. It's like very like scrappy, like, and like it doesn't even need a computer. It's like, it's just like battery there, and you can like pass it around and like people can touch it, they can feel it. Yeah, and like it kind of like taught me a lot of things along the way about like electronics, crochet, and like light as well. Let's start with like electronics. So like everyone says like hardware is hard, and yeah, that's true. But actually, if you keep it simple, like it's not so bad. Like, do you actually really need a computer? Do you need a screen? Like, does it need to be wireless? Like, does it actually need to be that precise that like what computers can give us? And basically, like with that light, it's power plus a light, like the LED. And it's actually optional to have the trigger, like the on and off trigger, or in this case, it's like a pressure sensitive sensor. And like electronics is like a very established field as well. And like this is just all from like high school electronics and like Googling and YouTube. And actually ChatGPT is really good for it, because like it's kind of so established, and you can like verify, like you plug it in and it does work. It's like ChatGPT is wrong. Like I can like check that. But also you don't need to build everything yourself. Like there's a lot of products out there, and like these products are made of smaller products, and like that LED noodle on that light, like I could buy that from like Pi-Hat or Pimoroni. Even the pressure sensor you can buy. That's what a pressure sensor looks like. But actually what I did was I built it myself, and it's the benefit of that is you can make it exactly how you want it, like the size, the frame, the structure. And it's actually very simple to make a DIY pressure sensor. Like if you look underneath, it's like you'll see that it's basically 2 pieces of copper, and then in the middle there's this velostat, which is like a pressure sensitive kind of material, and then I just sticky taped it together. And it's the same as programming, where if you go down a level of abstraction, it's like a bit harder, but like you get so much more control and flexibility. So that kind of gets me to crochet. Like I think I've only learned it like this year, and I think it kind of blew my kind of digital centric mind open. Like actually materials have been around for ages. It's like one of the original technologies that humans created. And like animals don't have clothes, but like we've like kind of created all these things, and it's like it's been only like a generation where we've lost all these skills to like mend and make clothes. And actually it's basically a 3D printer with your hands. Like you can make all these 3D forms with it. And like actually machines can't crochet at this point in time. Like they can knit, but they can't crochet. So like everything you see that's crocheted is made by human. And in this world where like we're optimizing the human out of everything, like it's kind of nice to see that we're still good at stuff. For now anyway. And I think it just comes back to like my day job being like a programmer. Like sometimes it feels like the better I become as a programmer, the less like I feel as a human. And like just finding these like human kind of activities kind of like is nice. And I guess another thing that I got into is like I made this like local first finite canvas of like all my iterations. So you can like have a look. There you go. It doesn't look as good on the screen. Like I think you have to see it in person. But this is what it looks like. This is like an early iteration of it. Anyway, and like I think just crocheting in general is just like such chill vibes, and like it's just smaller, small scale, and it's just like five stars. Highly recommend it. That light that's going around isn't actually the first light that I made. It's I actually made one for my wife. That's kind of like I tried to make it. Thank you. I tried to make it pretty first, and then all the tech stuff later. And actually, I over-engineered this. It's like it's got a microcontroller, it's got Wi-Fi. Didn't use any of it because I couldn't figure out a nice way to use it. But it kind of made me.
Can you play the video?
Yeah, sorry. Thanks. Yeah, so it's got two pressure-sensitive leaves, and it's got like a RGB LED strip inside, and some buttons, and yeah, it kind of works. The software's the worst part, to be honest. Like it was actually way more fun just crocheting, just whatever, like the form of it. But it did give me this like kind of epiphany of like, how come I don't make pretty things for myself? And like as an engineer, like a lot of the times I'm like, I don't think of myself as an artist or a designer, and it kind of gets delegated, that task. But actually, like design is a lot like engineering, and it's yeah. So like it does feel a lot like engineering, where it's just using different tools, and like it's still solving problems, but the tools you use are like contrast, color, typography, layout, all those things, and it's kind of more interesting to like combine that form and function. And I feel like that light is like a very good creative exercise, and I think with any exercise, the more you do it, the better you get. So then it kind of comes down to light. Like I think that is the original human invention. Like with fire, we got heat and light, and we could like defy nature and do things in the dark that like most animals can't do, or like daytime animals anyway. And it was just surprising how ignorant I was of like just such a basic thing. And like I read these books, like one about the lighting on stage, in interior design, in photography, and just in the home, and like how to design these lights. And each of these is like a rabbit hole. Like you can spend your whole lifetime like pursuing it. And like I had no idea about all this, even though like I've been a programmer and I've been making these digital things, and like I didn't even know. Like I learned how a screen was made. Like it's like just one massive light and stuff on top of it. But I had no idea that was the case. So I guess, yeah, I kind of learned that like light's just like energy, and like it's everywhere, and like it's like there's no color without light. Like it needs to exist. And one of the things I learned from that photography book was like, even though technology changes, like light doesn't change, like physics doesn't change, and like all these like basic elements and principles don't change as well. And like I like the idea like people like teach others how to draw, not just to learn how to draw, but like how to see, and like making these physical things like really helps me like understand the physical and digital world and the natural world around us. And like as a programmer, it kind of like feels very narrow sometimes, and just like this stuff helps like broaden my mind and like get out of these echo chambers, find out what it means to be human, right? So I'm kind of like just exploring lights at the moment, and like quick Easter egg, like you know the Dynamic Land website had a light, Dynaland. But yeah, like that's kind of my catalog. But that's me. If you want to.